Chris, I've got to say this is my first visit to the Edge, and now with the Holburne's association with the place, you're obviously hoping a lot of people are going to come up and see this amazing exhibition by a man called Richard Smith. Now, what's so special about him?
So Richard Smith, I think, is one of the great hidden secrets of British art. He was a star in his time. He was seen by many as one of the fathers of pop art. Came out of the Royal College in the late 1950s, was a mentor to the next generation of artists, including David Hockney, and forged a new language by making huge abstract paintings, which instead of being inspired by nature or landscape or ideas of God and spirituality, were based on corporate logos, advertising, cigarette packets, which he'd seen in all their glory in New York in the late 50s. And he was the most ambitious of artists. He set out basically to kind of test the parameters of what painting is, to push painting to its very edge, to see how far you could go before it becomes sculpture. And though his works are big and three-dimensional, he always insisted they were always paintings. Sculpture, he said, grows from a base, and these works are always hanging from the ceiling or hanging on the wall in a traditional sense.
What is the association now between the Holburne and the Edge here at the University of Bath? Have you taken over the place?
So since the Edge reopened after the pandemic, the Holburne has been programming the Andrew Brownsword Gallery here, and we've been trying different things. We've done a number of exhibitions like the Richard Smith. We also worked to advertise for local artists who wanted to use the space to make work they couldn't make in their normal environments, and also to show it, which is a very rare opportunity locally. You know, we know that Bath and its surroundings have an amazing pool of talent, but there are very few opportunities for showing work. So we worked with artists to have that kind of open residency, and that was hugely successful. So we've been exploring different ways that we can work with the university, both to provide visual art stimulation for the students and the faculty on campus, but also to make a contribution to the creative community of our area.
Well, it's certainly true to say that an installation like this you couldn't house at the Holburne. Now look, there are some people who say the Holburne is too far away from the city centre, even though it's just a 10-minute walk along Great Pulteney Street. How are you going to persuade people to come up the hill and visit the Edge?
Well, it's true, it's not easy. I mean, the Edge is located on the campus, which is not just out of town, but at the top of a very steep hill. But, you know, it's a couple of bus stops from the centre of Bath. It's really not difficult to hop on the bus and get up here. And, you know, I think shows like this, as you say, are a unique opportunity. There are very few galleries in the country that could show this work, and that's why we're hosting this exhibition to show really major paintings that haven't been seen in the UK since Smith had his retrospective at the Tate, amazing, at the age of 40, but which were made locally. You know, one of the key things about this is that Smith made these kites, as he called them, in a village near Chippenham, so really not very far from Bath.
And we must also make the point, while I've got you on the spot, that this isn't the only activity the Holburne's involved in. There's plenty going on back down in the centre of Bath.
It is an amazingly busy season for us. So as well as just having opened this show this week, we also opened a wonderful display of Rodin Degas sculptures, bronzes, some of the masterpieces of modern sculpture. And in the wake of that, some works by Elizabeth Frink that we were given by Frink's estate, sculptures and prints as well, and we also were given some drawings. And then next week, very prestigious, we're opening a show of an artist called Nalini Milani called My Reality is Different, and that's a partnership with the National Gallery in London and the Art Fund. So it's really, there's a bit of something for everybody at the Holburne and here at the Edge this autumn.